I threw a party for my 10-year-old son and invited my family. Nobody came. 27 balloons hung from the ceiling. A chocolate cake shaped like a dinosaur sat untouched on the kitchen counter. Trevor had spent the morning arranging chairs in a perfect circle, placing party favors at each seat. He'd written everyone's names on little cards: Mom, Dad, Uncle Harrison, Aunt Christine, his 3 cousins, each name in his careful, slanted handwriting. "When are they getting here?" he asked for the 15th time, pressing his face against the living room window. "Soon," I lied, checking my phone again. No texts, no calls, nothing. I'd sent the invitations 3 weeks ago, called to confirm twice. My mother had promised she wouldn't miss it. Dad said he'd already bought Trevor a remote control car. Uncle Harrison claimed he'd cleared his entire Saturday. By 2:00 p.m., Trevor stopped asking. He sat on the couch, still wearing his party hat, staring at the untouched pizza boxes. His small hands gripped the edges of his seat, knuckles turning white. "Maybe they're just running late," I said, my voice cracking. "Traffic, you know." He looked at me with those knowing eyes. "Too old for a 10-year-old. They're not coming, are they?" I wanted to lie again, but what was the point? The truth was simpler and uglier. 6 months ago, I'd finally left Trevor's father after years of abuse. My family had begged me to stay, not because they cared about my safety, but because divorce was embarrassing, because Dalton's family had money and connections, because in our family, women endured. When I filed the restraining order after he'd put me in the hospital, my mother called me dramatic. Dad said I was destroying Trevor's chance at a stable life. Uncle Harrison suggested couples counseling, as if talking could fix broken ribs and cigarette burns on my arms. They'd chosen Dalton over me, over Trevor. The calls stopped. Birthday cards quit coming. My sister stopped answering my texts entirely, blocking me on every platform. When I'd invited them to Trevor's party, I knew it was a long shot. But I'd hoped, stupidly, desperately hoped, they'd choose their grandson over their pride. I was wrong. "You know what?" I said, wiping my eyes. "We don't need them. Let's have our own party." I called Trevor's friend Desmond from down the hall, then his classmate Rhea. By 3 p.m., 7 kids had shown up, along with Desmond's mom Vanessa, who brought presents even though I'd said no gifts. The apartment filled with actual laughter instead of the polite, strained kind my family specialized in. Trevor played games, smashed his face into the dinosaur cake, and forgot to look sad. For those few hours, I watched him be what he should always be, just a kid. That night, after everyone left, Trevor hugged me tight. "This was the best birthday ever," he said. I didn't tell him I'd cried in the bathroom while the kids sang happy birthday, or that I'd blocked my mother's number when she'd finally texted at 9 p.m. with a breezy, "Sorry, lost track of time." 3 years later, Trevor and I have built something better than what I lost. We have Vanessa and her family. We have Rhea's parents, who've become like grandparents to Trevor. We have chosen family, people who show up because they want to, not because biology obligates them. Last week, my mother called from a number I didn't recognize. "Dad's sick. They need help navigating his treatment. Uncle Harrison can't handle the medical decisions alone. My sister's too overwhelmed. We need you," she said. "You're the only one with medical knowledge. Your father's asking for you." I thought about that birthday party, about Trevor's face as he watched the door, about 3 years of silence, about every time they'd chosen appearances over my safety. "Where were you when I needed you?" I asked. She went quiet. Then came the guilt. "That's not fair. We're family. Blood is blood." "No," I said. "Family shows up. Blood is just biology." I hung up and blocked the new number. Trevor asked who it was. I smiled and told him nobody important. For the first time in my life, I meant it.